Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. This is the big picture. Long-term support 341.72, two-year channel top. We settled above 7 weeks ago. Long-term resistance at 504.22. That was a 3 to 5 month objective about 7 weeks ago when we closed above for the first time that 341.72 formation. We rallied up to 480 something. I don't remember the exact price, and came falling back. Shortly thereafter, we actually settled below a channel bottom, as you recall, a couple of weeks ago, that is now well above the market. And shortly after that, we adopted this channel top at 400.72 as our resistance into later January, below which 341.72, a 2 week objective, 1 to 2 week objective. Now, we've made a shift. And if you sold, no, we didn't test it on Monday, but if you're short now at 400.72, that's fine. You just need to see the market close below 400.72. And in fact, in terms of our pivot point into February, anticipating 504.22 within 2 to 3 weeks or so, it is no longer 400.72. We've shifted to this structure at 430.68. It's only because I see a decent reason that we could get a nice 2 to 3 day pop into the 430s, only to fall away then again as we move into later January. So it's also a confidence factor. I'm quite confident that if we close above 430.68, that we should see within 2 to 3 weeks that 504.22 5-year channel top, where we can place a good high into the second quarter. But until then, closing above 400.72 carries with it the risk of failure on the way up to 504.22 at 430.68. So I'm comfortable considering 430.68 a level that would be a 2 to 3 day objective. We might actually see it today if we open above 400.72, which would act then as day support, and above which buying pressures can kick in once again. On the way up, I've got 417.64, which is the low of the high on the weekly chart. That is the low of that all-time high. So that carries with it a weight, if you will, in terms of being able to contain intraday activity. I consider it a quick intraday objective if we push, especially open today, above 400.72. And if we then push through 417.64, yes, 430.68 likely, where we can place a weekly high. And if settled above 430.68, which I think is unlikely today, but certainly possible later in the week, then we have a 2 to 3 day buy signal to 504.22. If you're antsy to go long, let's see, how would I frame this? If you're short right now, I think you can stay short below 400.72. And what I mean by that is really a daily settlement today below that structure, below 400.72, still anticipating 341.72 2-year channel top support on that weekly chart. Downside today, we do have 379.28 still. That is the low settlement price that was put out a couple of weeks ago, and it can continue to contain daily selling pressures. But on the next attempt, I'd be a little bit more careful because I do think that holding below 400.72, you can make a solid case that bearish momentum remains firmly intact. If we were to close below 379.28, that would be consistent with that view, the 341.72 level. Then I think by the end of the week, within 3 to 5 days of closing below 379.28, we should then test that 341.72 formation, where we could actually bottom out through the rest of the first quarter. And so if you're short and you manage to hold the short position into the low 340s, 341.72 is your profit-taking area on a short position. Is also long entry back to, well, I can look at this chart and say back to 417.64 within 2 to 3 weeks perhaps, and all the way up to 504.22 within 2 to 3 months, possibly a little bit longer than that. And so you're playing the short side below 400.72 into later week, into next week, anticipating 341.72, and you're going aggressively long above 430.68. What you do in between these 2 points, 400.72 to 430.68, has everything to do, I think, with what your trading style is and your time horizon. Everybody has their preferred time horizon, their focus, whether they're day traders or they hold positions for 3 to 5 days out on a Friday afternoon and they go at it again the following Monday, or whether you actually hold a position, possibly an options trade for weeks on end. And that weeks on end crowd, long above 430.68, and you could be short below 400.72. Of course, we would have a long-term sell signal if we were to close below 341.72, but I don't see that as a likelihood. I don't even want to consider it because I just don't see it happening. I do see 341.72 as a solid area to buy into aggressively, anticipating then upward rotation again into the low 500 region over the following 2 to 3 months, roughly. Anything else to say? I'll just remind you, closing above 400.72, 430.68 likely within several days. There's a possibility that if we open today above 400.72, it can contain daily selling pressures, and above which 430.68 likely within just a few days, where we could top out on a weekly basis, fall away perhaps back to 341.72 over the following 2 to 3 weeks or so. But closing above 430.68, I see no good reason to be short Tesla as we move into February, the following 2 to 3 weeks, then likely to reach that 504.22 5-year channel top, where we could place a good high into the second quarter. I think that pretty much rounds it out. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. We have daily Triple Q, daily SPY analysis, weekly Apple stock, weekly S&P 500, weekly NASDAQ 100, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll be able to see all of that for free. 2 stock picks every week that cater to the 3 to 5 week out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. So check us out at wickedstocks.com. I will be back tomorrow, of course, with Wednesday's Tesla. You have a great day.